Brandon wasn't always the most motivated player.
I thought he was just kind of like a normal kid, basically, like maybe a little nerdy, but I think we all were at Smash Weekly. I didn't really get to know him that well until like a month or so after I met him because he was shy. I guess I was shy too. Not like a crazy first meeting, I guess. It was just, I didn't really know what to think of him, I guess.
I was with a friend, Cody. He came down from Chicago. I knew him online, and we've been playing Smash online for a while. We've been practicing. And my friend Cody was like, hey, you should pull up to this tournament. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. So he flew down just to hang out, and then we went to this tournament. And, it didn't do amazing, but, that's where I first met Brandon.
Davemon, it's a net play warrior. He's only been recently coming to these things, but he's been doing a pretty decent job so far for all the ones he's came to.
At first, I think we did not like each other because of the rivalry. And, we didn't always come, on an even level at each other, and sometimes there was a little bit of salt, mainly from the Smash tournaments. We were rivals for a very long time. I mean, ever since like maybe a month of me going to the weeklies is when I was coming for Brandon's neck a lot of the time.
No, you wouldn't!
You'd get murdered. My Roy would take half of your...
No, he wouldn't! I've murdered your Roy!
Dave was different because I was less anxious going to like a weekly and meeting new people because I was already kind of like in the scene at that point. So it wasn't like hard for me to meet new people. Like I could always go back to Melee and talk about Melee to meet somebody. And it just felt like he was kind of naturally easy to get along with. And I think a lot of people gravitated towards him because of that.
Eventually, like we learned that we're like pretty similar and like we're actually pretty good friends, and we didn't actually dislike each other. We had a long talk about that. And so yeah, eventually that rivalry kind of just turned into a friendship. So Shines and Steins was in terms of a regional where, all sides of Tennessee came together in one place for a tournament.
Dave in Smash was definitely one of the more calculated type players.
Just a very, very dominant, very steep hill to climb if you wanted to beat him.
For my run, I was genuinely shocked.
Brandon is more, I would say he's a feeling-based player. Like he operates mostly based on how he's feeling.
If you don't match his level of practice and his level of motivation and drive to win, then you're probably going to lose.
He wasn't predicted to win that event, but I would say that I probably would have bet my money on him winning that thing anyways.
The best part of Melee tournaments was the energy in the room. I mean, I'm talking, this is more like a concert almost, just people yelling and screaming, so hyped, just don't really care who wins, but just there for the competition and for the thrill of it,
To be those two players, to make it to the end of that, was almost kind of inspiring in a way. So I feel like us being in grand finals was almost like the true definition of like, hey, there's a new wave coming through. Like, we're not gonna stay down here forever.
He gets first open up. Now stay
Of course, I wish I would have won. It would have meant a lot to me to win that event. But, at the time, even though we weren't the closest compared to how we are now, I was still very happy for him.
And so winning that, just being surrounded by all of that positive energy, I think that was the best feeling for sure, was the people.
A little bit saddened that he decided to drop Melee because he had a lot of talent, he had a lot of potential.
I was like living vicariously through his results at that point. I was just always cheering for him, so it was kind of sad to see him go.
There were a lot of things that stopped me from playing Melee, but the first thing was the issues with my hands that arose from just the nature of the GameCube controller.
At first I was really angry. He was kind of my biggest push when we were playing to get better.
So I had always played League of Legends. In the past, I started when I was like 12 years old, just as a fun pastime, and eventually I quit League to go to Melee. Went to Melee for like 2.5 years, and because of my hand issues, I came back to League, and eventually I just found my passion with League again. And nowadays it's a job, but it's more of a medium for me to really connect with a lot of people every single day. So Nico, might want to mod Connie or I. Oh, is the chat bad? Is chat replay? Okay. I can maybe find the chat replay.
I'm also really happy for him with the success he's found in League and streaming because, just in a matter of a couple years, he went from having, say, 200-300 viewers per stream to, now I just checked a couple days ago his viewer count. He has like 1,000 concurrent viewers every stream.
So him kind of leaving made me almost feel, it's selfish, but it made me feel alone. And it made me feel like I didn't have someone that could really help me grow and help them grow as well.
I love being a really good player at what I do. I love getting better at what I do, but I also love to be an entertainer. And so I kind of like to mix the two aspects of being a competitor and an entertainer. But I definitely love the entertainer aspect of it, and I don't only want to compete.
I'm happy for him. I'm glad that he's been able to accomplish the things that he wanted.
Melee is something that connected me with a lot of people in my life.
Emotions that, are kind of insanely hard to describe, through every second of competition. The people you meet along the way that, end up becoming some of your most close and best friends that you'll ever end up meeting.
Melee just changed my life drastically, and for the people that I met through it, I'm forever grateful, for sure.
Melee is almost kind of like a life source, or like a life fuel, I guess, that pushes me to do better everywhere.
I think ultimately, no matter how big Melee was, I would have had to quit eventually.
Once people start to hit their physical peak, as people would say, and kind of start to fade out, find different avenues to be successful.
The only way I could see Brandon stopping would be if his hands broke. I don't know if that's like something that he would do if he would just quit like that.
I think of motivation as a reason to get up every single day and something that you can look forward to.
Every time I've hit one of those walls, the outcome from breaking past it is just so rewarding, and really you can genuinely feel all that hard work, time, effort, emotions all come out and really give you what you were looking for, or at least progress in it. So even while having moments like that, I always try to remember at least that it's not the true avalanche or the true wall. There's always something past that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Out of, 1 million and some players, you're number one. I mean, I just can't even believe it.